compromising on your values and and standards is probably the biggest enemy of any company.
I see that you are a vegetarian. So what's your favorite dish?
Correct. Well, that's why I'm so happy to be in India. I think choose your peers wisely. Choose your friends wisely. Because coaches have a responsibility. Coaches have a responsibility to deliver what the customer wants and make sure that they are completely dedicated and committed to do so. Vice versa, that's what the student also has to do.
So thank you, Rene, for giving us an opportunity to talk to you today.
Pleasure.
So how is India treating you?
It's always a pleasure to be in India. I've been here now for many times. It's one of my favorite places to go.
This is your longest trip, if I may say?
Yes, by far. I mean, I usually spend like 6 days max at one location.
Yeah.
This time I'm here for 3 weeks, or a little bit over 3 weeks. Wow. So yeah, it's exciting at the same time to be here and spend a little bit more time than usual.
Yeah, the academy looks fantastic. So I've visited this location for the first time. But looks great. And it's not only tennis. I think there's a whole ecosystem that's backing our tennis players here.
Yeah, I can only compare it to international standards. And I think they've managed to put together a unbelievable quality sport facility, not just tennis. We are just grateful to be part of this. But there's obviously, as you've seen, so much more going on. And I think it only speaks for the ownership to have a vision like this and then actually being able to execute it as well.
Yeah. So how do you see the India story, especially that now that the PBI Bangalore is almost 5 years and PBI Pune has recently started?
Yeah, correct. So yeah, I mean, we've come here about 5 years ago with little ideas where we would go. We were part of a bigger vision, which is bringing different kind of sports at a certain quality standard and bring that to the people in India. We had no understanding at the time that we would be going into an academy concept so quickly, but it was very obvious that when we started that there was a huge hunger and interest in quality programming. And that's basically how it evolved from the initial grassroots program, which is still there, by the way, and very quickly turned into a full-size academy. And it took a few years, but it's good to see where we are right now. Yeah, and it certainly gives hope and gives us a lot of confidence for the future as well. And now with Pune on board, we certainly have an opportunity to create something similar, but also that will take time.
Yeah. Anything or any news you want to release beforehand about Pune or Bangalore or anything else in India?
Honestly, there's a lot of conversations. There's a lot of interest in sports facilities. There's a lot of drive. To be very honest, I think one of the things that we've always been very cautious about is who we're working with, and people who understand sports, people who understand sports development, and also to some extent are in line with the standards and the value structures that we are, we've been operating for 47 years in a certain way. And it's not always easy to have people who are similarly aligned. But the partners that we have here in Bangalore and in Pune are exceptional, and therefore we're very comfortable being here.
Wow. So I was just thinking that any academy maybe starts with a vision, but it's so difficult to sustain over a period of 5 years, which you have been able to do successfully at Bangalore. Anything worked in your favor?
Well, that goes back to the original founding of PBI, right? It's 47 years ago. We are actually the longest operating management company in the world.
Okay.
We've seen a lot of companies come and go. I think, there is no secret in a way. I think one of the major components for being in the industry for a long time is doing it for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that sports is passion.
Yeah,
sports is dedication, passion, and the moment it gets overtaken by, I would say, secondary motivations or drives, you very easily get caught up and you lose track, and that's when a lot of people lost interest in the same as well.
Yeah, create problems. Yeah. But any learnings? Maybe somebody who wants to have his or her own academy. Any?
Well, I think have a vision and have a vision, number one, and then stick to your qualities, to your standards. I mean, compromising on your values and and standards is probably the biggest enemy of any company, and makes us extremely vulnerable.
Yeah. Cool. And during our offline conversation, I see that you are a vegetarian. So what's your favorite dish?
Correct. Well, that's why I'm so happy to be in India. You know, you got so much choices here. I was kind of telling you, and where I come from, we had 3 kinds of potatoes, and here you got 1,000 different kind of varieties. So, yeah, it's always a pleasure to be in India, being a vegetarian.
Yeah, and I hope the academy is treating you well. There are lots of cafes that I see around.
Yeah, and again, this is also quite unique, I think, in India, that they have created this whole facility that has basically, or offers basically the opportunity for people and families to spend there the whole day. And everyone can do his own little thing in different sports, different environments, learning, restaurants. There's a multiple choice. And I think that's what makes this facility such an enjoyable facility to not just work, but also to visit.
Yeah, I can see the energy here. It's almost, I think, 2 and 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Still, people are playing with great enthusiasm there.
Absolutely.
Cool. So finally, maybe as tennis progresses in India, any words of advice for youngsters?
Yeah, that's always a difficult theme, and always difficult, but an important topic. I think choose your peers wisely, choose your friends wisely. You know, when you grow up and you have this path and this opportunity to be on a journey of sports where a lot of things are relevant, positive, self-discipline, it's very easy to get distracted by associating yourself with the wrong people. People who are negative, people who simply have other interests that not necessarily help your tennis career or any sports career as such. And I think so. Choose your friends wisely.
Yeah,
And it would be as simple as that.
I think without saying choose your coaches wisely.
That is certainly part of it as well. And I think there's a twofold. And I think there's absolutely that part to it. And I think at the same time, those coaches have a responsibility. Coaches have a responsibility to deliver what the customer wants and make sure that they are completely dedicated and committed to do so. Vice versa, that's what the student also has to do. Yeah. It's a look. Coming back to the same thing, rather than just saying, choose your peers wisely. If you do this, participate. If you do this, be curious. Ask questions. Get understanding. And very simply, have no excuses and no complaints. Work hard. Be the best version of yourself tomorrow and better than today.
Wow. That's a fantastic I think end to this episode. I won't take too much of your time, but thank you, Rene, for your time. It was wonderful talking to you, and probably one of the best days. Tennis Bytes, we were lucky to talk to somebody who is really driving the biggest tennis academy in the world. Thanks so much.
Thank you.